Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around for the first half hour. The second half hour should prove to be just as scintillating. That is a 45-cent word that I just learned.
And it sounds so dirty when you say it.
Right. Well, I said it with a twinkle because I learned it off the Food Network.
You got to be careful.
Sometimes
we're on a Christian network. Maybe.
Well, I suppose that. Not that we're not on that kind of. I'm not saying that, but I suppose that scintillating could sound kind of dirty.
And twinkle.
Right. Oh boy,
that's a close one.
All of this, I didn't realize that on
Maddie's back there twinkling now.
I didn't realize that this is going to be you of all people bringing the PC hammer down on me. I don't know about that. It must still be Halloween. You came in your blue shirt, and I came in my red tie. I guess we went as each other.
Yes.
But so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because you've been sort of friendly with the campaign since before it was a thing. Doc is the ultimate Ben Carson hipster. He thought Ben was cool before anybody else did.
Yeah. Well, I have one of his oldest stickers out there.
Yeah.
Not on my beloved red truck.
Not that you haven't endorsed anybody yet.
Well, because, truthfully, you and I probably shouldn't be endorsing.
No. Because then the other folks won't want to come on the show.
Well, it's not only that, it's kind of unfair, Because despite our 8 listeners a week, that's still 8 people we influence.
That's true. And and they are devoted.
They are devoted.
They are devoted. It is a scary Manson-esque level of devotion that we have developed in those 8 people. I will say that. I'm
hoping that the next time we endorse somebody, they'll crawl down the street on their hands and knees for it.
If Roger Ailes can't get a Republican to do that at this point, I don't know how much luck that we have. But you've been sort of friendly with the Ben Carson campaign. You haven't actually met him in person, have you? Or have you?
There's been 4 different times I've gone. And remember when Ryan was on here during the break, he said, you guys don't understand that this guy's going to be drawing a bunch of crowds. Remember that?
Yep.
I didn't believe him, and I was wrong.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you believed him, but the first time I went, holy smokes, how does this guy pack a 400-seat place? Mm-hmm. And then the second time, I forgot where it was. I think it was downtown at the vet center or something like that. And it was packed. And then it was out of the Pizza Ranch because they all go to the Pizza Ranch. And It was standing room only, and I couldn't get up to meet him. And then the last time I actually tried was the Machine Shed, which is, if you know it, it's huge. Holds easily 1,000 people all the way out into the parking lot waiting to meet this guy. I got to work. And so, I haven't been able to meet him yet. I'd love to.
And so he in a couple of the last polls in Iowa, much to the displeasure, if you saw the clips of Donald Trump reacting to the polls in Iowa about how he's number 2 now in Iowa in some of these, and I think one of them was the Des Moines Register, and he called the Des Moines Register a third-rate newspaper. Although
I agree.
Although they'd been calling the race, or they'd been beefing him up in the polls for months and months. But, whatever. Now Ben Carson's kind of taken over the top spot, and I'm wondering what it is, and I'm going to play some identity politics here, so bear with me. Once again, what is it about this guy that resonates so strongly with the Christian conservatives in this state when he is a Seventh-day Adventist? He is somebody which I didn't know until recently. Not that I particularly care about that, but I remember being in the crew back in high school. Yeah. I remember going to several Sunday school lessons or several youth groups, learning about the different kinds of quote unquote cults out there, and the Seventh-day Adventists, the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Mormon, all those folks. Traditional mainstream Christianity didn't like those folks. So what is it? And you wouldn't think that Christian conservatives would either. What is it about his message that seems to be resonating with the base here in Iowa?
Well, first and foremost, you have to keep in mind that the quote Christian conservatives cover most of people who are Christians. Doesn't matter what denomination you are. And in fact, I'm going to go so far as to say most Catholics that I know, since I'm Catholic, really aren't conservative. They're really fairly liberal.
Yes, for the most part. Yeah,
for the most part. And I don't know a percentage. I don't know those numbers, but just from the people I've met, And so what you have is the issues, the social issues coming to the forefront. And the problem is Ben Carson is not focusing on those issues. He's focusing on what we've talked about before: jobs, economy, taxation, the financial part of being a president. And then when they ask him, well, what do you think about abortion? Well, I'm against it. I don't like it. I don't think it's the right thing to do. And then he moves on. And then he moves on to something else.
Well, but then he compares it to slavery, and he says
well, yeah, but
weird things.
But hold on a second. He can compare it to slavery because apparently, according to the liberal left, if you're black, you can talk about slavery, but you can't do that if you're white.
Well, I don't think anybody's ever said that, but he says things like how Obamacare is the worst thing to happen since slavery, or that if the Jews had guns, like he saying odd things when asked questions that don't necessarily pertain to those things. That's what I find fascinating. Like, and does he just get to say kind of stuff and it sticks with people? I don't know. I don't get. But listen, here's my. You can tell how much I'm struggling with this. Here's my problem with the Ben Carson campaign, and I'm gonna sound really dumb saying this. I'm gonna just set it all up. I don't get it. I get why he's a compelling figure. I get why his story is compelling and why he's an interesting guy, and I'm certain that he is as academic and intellectual a person as anybody would want from a neurosurgeon who's a genius at what he does. I fundamentally don't understand this presidential campaign. This, as far as being an outsider, everyone says.
I mean, what don't you understand about his campaign?
Okay.
Why he's successful?
Yeah, exactly. The outsider stuff, it works for a while.
Well, then we'll take a little bit of an early break. We'll come back and we'll talk after the break about why Ben Carson is successful in his campaign, even though from all indications he shouldn't be at this point. I think that's what
I'm trying to say.
So we'll be talking about that right after this break. We want to thank all of our sponsors. That's Petrosian Associates at petrosianassociates.com, Lubinas Law Firm at lubiнаslawfirm.com, Halo Capital at DesMoinesInterestRates.com, Des Moines Anesthesia PC at 515-574-6442. They do pain management and general anesthesia. They have 2 offices, one here in Des Moines and one in Fort Dodge. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Go to our website, docandlefty.com, because I've written a couple blogs. They should be up. And as soon as Blake gets his laptop, he'll be writing up a couple more too. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back right after this.